Eureka College Basketball on ECTV is brought to you by City Blue Technologies in Peoria, your Epson first business partner offering precision core heat-free printing, Eureka College's official partner for sustainable printing. By Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka, and by Cornerstone Family Restaurant in Eureka.
As we get ready for the first men's game of 2025, we get ready for the pregame. My name is Matthew Swan, bringing you today's coverage between the Blackburn Beavers and, of course, the Eureka Red Devils here on ECTV. Well, Blackburn coming in at 1-9, Eureka 2-8. Obviously for Blackburn, and Eureka as well, not the season either team was really hoping for. A lot of hope for both teams coming into the season, especially as we know for Eureka, they had a lot of prep coming into this season, and yet 2 wins. But here we are against Blackburn, trying to make a statement against this team, and especially in the SLIAC play. Obviously for Eureka, 1-2 in conference play, and very low in the standings, as predicted. But we beat Blackburn last time 92-74. Of course, who else but Amarion Bird leading the team with 22 points. He also had 12 rebounds to his account. Another double-double for Bird. We see a double-double from Bird almost every game. He's literally a walking double-double. On top of that, Jacob Gonzalez coming off of the bench for Eureka. He scored 15 points. Just like Zarillo in the women's game, off the bench is difficult to do. Like I keep saying, it's usually the starters that you want to see score as many points as possible, but a lot of these bench players for Eureka really come out and they just make a name for themselves. They want the minutes, and if they put up performances like that, scoring the second highest point total in the game, they are going to get those minutes. For Blackburn though, as I keep mentioning, not a season they wanted either. 1 win overall, and of course not a single win in conference play yet. 0-3 in the SLIAC, all the way at the bottom of the standings. Obviously not what they were hoping for, but they just got to come in here and do what they can to beat the Red Devils for Blackburn. Obviously, key notes for Eureka, you do not want to overcomplicate things. So this is a very winnable game. As I mentioned, we beat Blackburn last time, 92-74, almost a 20-point deficit. But like I said, you cannot overcomplicate things. What you really want to do is take advantage of those offensive rebounds. That is something that we were really outnumbered in last game, and that just can't happen. This is Blackburn is a team that's going to shoot a lot, and they are going to score a lot. But even though they're going to score, they are going to miss a lot of their shots, and that just happens. So you have to get there and get those offensive boards. Either way, it's going to be a very exciting game for both teams, and of course you want to see Eureka come out and get the win. But that'll be all for the pregame aspect of things. Stay tuned for first half coverage here on ECTV, live from the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth.
Welcome to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub, owned and operated by brothers Bob and Mike Mayo. Wendy Puff is located in the heart of Eureka and offers a warm and cozy atmosphere with a friendly staff. It's a great place to relax and savor a delicious meal. Here at Wendy Puff, we have a diverse menu to cater to every palate. Whether you're looking to enjoy a family dinner, catch up with friends, or study for your next test or complete that homework assignment, Wendy Puff will provide you with a positive experience and great food. Come as you are to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub.
Did you know toner powder is actually powdered plastic, and Americans consume 100 million pounds of it each year? Epson Workforce Enterprise AM series printers are powered by simple, smart, and clean precision core technology, doing away with waste-making laser printer designs and parts that end up in landfills. So you can experience less wasting, more saving. Your Epson Business First partner is City Blue Technologies in Peoria, Eureka College's official partner for sustainable printing.
Feel right at home at Eureka's own Cornerstone Family Restaurant. All-day breakfast, roasted chicken, daily specials, and homemade soups, along with a friendly staff, are here to serve you with smiles. Come in and enjoy Cornerstone Family Restaurant.
Starting lineups.
Number 3, Darius Duff. A 6'1 sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri. Number 13, Otis Grissom. A 6'5 senior from Oldsburg, Kansas. Number 20, Brody Barr. A 6'3" junior from Leopold, Missouri, number 21, Caleb Schaub. And a 6'8" junior from Jacksonville, Illinois, number 34, Nick Cook. The Beavers are coached by Austin Kirby and assisted by Reed Ruskin. Now let's meet the starting lineup for your Eureka Red Devils. A 6'2" junior from Meridian, Ohio, number 1, Dylan Logsden. A 6' sophomore from Washington, Illinois, number 5, Micah Brewer. A 6'5" junior from Peoria, Illinois, number 14, Amarion Bird. A 6' junior from Los Angeles, California, number 24, Jacob Gonzalez. And a 6'3" senior from Lisle, Illinois, number 32, Raymond Benzamuna Jr. The Red Devils are coached by Chip Wilde and assisted by Jessica Thorman and managed by Zoe Wilde.
And so there you have it for the starting lineups of both teams for Blackburn. It'll be Duff, Grissom, Barr, Schaub, and Cook. And of course for Eureka, Logsden, Brewer, Bird, Gonzalez, and Banzamuna. A player to look out for specifically on Blackburn, you're going to have Otis Grissom. Remember, he led Blackburn with 15 points against Eureka the last time these two teams met. And for Eureka, that was on the road. They did get the 92-74 win. Bird, jump ball. That one's going to be taken away by Logsden. Quickly hands it over to Gonzalez. So immediately trying to find a start here for the Red Devils. Banzamuna outside. Logsden. Now Brewer. Great three-point shooter. We've seen him shoot very far all season long. Logsden to Bird. Bird's going to pass it across the court. Gonzalez hesitated, but gets up the three. No good. Banzamuna offensive board. Pump fake there. Brewer thought about it. Step back. Dribbling. He's going to have to pass it out to Gonzalez, who nearly lost it. 9 seconds on the shot clock for Eureka. Step back from Logsden. That one is good. Deep two there. And just like that, Red Devils first ones to score, 2-0. Blackburn now with their first opportunity of the game. Remember, they were huge on fast break points. Here's a three from Grissom. That one gets a lucky bounce and falls in. So Blackburn quickly responding. Back on top, 3-2. But as I was saying, Blackburn led, actually outnumbered Eureka in fast break points as Logsden there knocks down a layup and one. He'll have an opportunity to shoot for an extra point. Bench for Eureka obviously fired up. This is a huge game. It is a conference game. And as I mentioned in the pregame, Eureka not where they want to be in SLIAC standings. Currently at 8. Blackburn in last, 0-3. There's that great pressure defense from the Red Devils. Trying to find some space. Now it'll be Schaub, top of the key. He's going to pass it over. Duff. Spinning in the paint, passes it outside, pump fake there. Barr is going to float it up and knocks that one down. Tied game after that nice little floater there from Brody Barr. Gonzalez now will throw it over to Brewer. He's going to try to find a route here under the rim. Outside, Logsden in that corner. Banzamuna back outside. Brewer, deep three. No good. That was going to be rebounded by Grissom. Blackburn opportunity here to grab the lead once again. Grissom guarded by Gonzalez. There's a screen there from Cook. This one's up and rolls out, rebounded by Logsden. Great defensive stop there from Eureka, preventing Blackburn from getting another lead. Bird puts it up, no good, and his first shot attempt of the night misses. He's 0 for 1 to start things out. Here's an opportunity here. Passes it outside. Now back to Duff. There's a screen. Cook wants it. Duff uses it. Jumps, fires, no good. Rebounded by Grissom, who puts it up, gets the foul. And he'll be sent to the line for 2. Blackburn trying to take the lead. Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka. Locally owned by Mike and Bob Mayo. Wendy Puff offers a unique variety of pizzas, appetizers, salads, and desserts. Wendy Puff is open Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 and Fridays and Saturdays from 4 to 10. Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub at 112 South Main Street in downtown Eureka. They also offer online ordering at wendypuff.com. So Grissom only able to go 1 for 2 at the line there. Bird coming up with that rebound. Banzamuna top of the key. Finds an open lane. Lack of defense from Blackburn. And Banzamuna takes advantage. Eureka back on top, 7 to 6. Taking it up the court is Duff. I'm sure we're going to see another screen there from Cook. Duff loves to use that screen. He's going to throw it over to Barr. Fighting against Bird is Cook. In the paint, loses it, and Brewer comes up with it. Eureka needs to slow things down here, reset. Capitalize. Bird up the middle, throws it up and knocks it down. That's exactly what Marion Bird does. He can just move so fast on the court, and he's so good at executing, as he just did. 9-6 Eureka, largest lead of their night. Grissom, corner 3, no good. Rebounded by Logsdon. He's going to pass it across the court. Gonzalez thought about the corner. Banzamuna, mid-range, good. Jacob Gonzalez, who had 15 against Blackburn on the road last time they faced off, knocks that one down. We know he's so good at making those short little mid-range jumpers. He continues to do exactly what he's good at. Schaub passes it to Cook, who loses it once again. Brewer once again coming up with it. Eureka, fast break opportunity. Brewer's just going to put it up and knock it down. That's exactly what you need if you're Eureka. They were outnumbered in fast break points last game against Blackburn. Eureka had only 8, while Blackburn had 13. Duff directing traffic. He's going to give it over to Schaub, who hands it off to Cook, who fights in the paint outside. Duff corner. Mid deep 2, shoots it, and that'll fall. Blackburn now has 8 points in this game, trailing by 5. Almost 5 minutes played in this game. Logsdon almost lost it. He's going to give it off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, pump fake, puts it up, and no good. It was a good idea, but the execution was not there. Duff hustling up the court. He's going to sidestep and throw that one up. He knocks it down. I don't know if they're going to call a foul on Eureka. It looks like they're not going to count the bucket, but it is a foul, so it's going to be Grissom to inbound it. Huge break there for Eureka, who still leads it 13 to 10. Officially 5 minutes have been played in this game. Deep pass there to Duff from Grissom. Cook over to Johnson. Johnson now guarded by Gonzalez. He's going to give it back to Grissom. Cook, deep 2. No good. Rebounded by Banzamuna. Banzamuna hustling up the floor. Tries to set his feet. No good. And this one is going to be a huge opportunity for Blackburn. Bounce pass there. Grissom fighting against Logsdon. Contact. Knocks it down. It's a 1-point game. Very quickly, both of these teams like to go back and forth. They're fairly evenly matched. So it's always competitive between these two teams. It's really just a matter of who can stick it out the longest and who can continue to carry that energy, as there's a foul call, a reach in against Blackburn. So it'll stay with Eureka. $14-10 left to play in this first half. Gonzalez will inbound it. Eureka already with a higher field goal percentage than Blackburn. and more attempts, and there's going to be a turnover from Eureka, their first of the night. Something that the Red Devils obviously are trying to avoid, especially early on. You want to get set on the right path, and when you turn the ball over like that, it doesn't make it any easier. Eureka still on top, 13-10. Just over 14 minutes left to go. Duff over to Johnson. Johnson's going to pass it off. Grissom now. Pump fake. Cook guarded by Bird. He's going to try to fight in the paint. A lot of contact. Puts it up and good, but he'll be called for the travel. And that's right. Cook, obviously a big guy. He stands really tall out of Jacksonville, Illinois. But when you try to draw too much contact like that, you end up turning the ball over like Cook just did there. Brewer now, heavily guarded by Johnson. Gonzalez over to Logsdon. And another turnover, this time from Eureka. So back and forth, each team kind of exchanging turnovers. That'll be Eureka's second of the night. 13 and a half left to go. The score remains 13-10, Red Devils on top. Johnson's going to hand it over to Duff. Banzamuna on him. Duff trying to find some space. Johnson, corner three. That is good, and Blackburn ties it up here. A lot of time left still in this first half. Gonzalez trying to get something going. Brewer wanted it, unable to get it, and there's a turnover, a little bit of a mismatch or misread by Bird and Gonzalez. Duff over to Grissom. Johnson now with Logsdon, heavily guarding. Johnson's gonna fight through contact, throw it up, no good. This one's gonna be rebounded by Cook. Passes it outside, Grissom. Duff, Johnson back to Duff. Grissom, corner three, no good. Cook does get the offensive board, but it looks like that one's going to be a foul against Banzamuna. So Eureka now sits at 4 fouls already in this game. Not even within the first 10 minutes. And this will give Blackburn an opportunity to take the lead here. They had it early on when Grissom was able to knock down that three. Johnson. Barr now. Schaub. Schaub over to Barr. Barr back outside. Schaub. Pump fake. Gonzalez trying to stick with it. And blocked by Bird. That one's going to go out of bounds. It'll go to Eureka. Great defensive stop there from Amarion Bird to get that block. We don't see a lot of blocks at this Division III level, but when you do, it's something very exciting, and Bird able to stop it there, preventing the Beavers from gaining the lead once again. Logsdon over to Carter, who now subs in the game. Blake Logsdon also in the game. Brewer. Bird fighting in the paint, spins. That was a great move to knock it down and put Eureka back on top. Marion Bird, really nifty player. Johnson directing traffic. I will say Blackburn, as I mentioned, coming in at 1-9 as Johnson there able to knock that one down. But Blackburn coming off of their first win of the season, 75-70. So it was still a close game, but it's always something to be proud of. You go 0-8, and finally you get that first win. Logsdon thought about a three there, top of the key. Now Blake Logsdon. Brewer trying to fight in that paint. Flips it off to Logsdon. Double teamed, losing the basketball. Johnson trying to come up with it, and it's going to be a jump ball, I believe, and yeah. Great defense there from Blackburn. So with 11 minutes left to go in this first half, both teams 15 points. Blackburn 5 fouls. 2 fouls. Eureka 5 fouls. Eureka still looking for their first bench points of the game. That's something that they rely a lot on, especially in very competitive games like this one. Duff now, top of the key, guarded by Logsdon. Trying to find some room outside. Barr thought about the corner three. Mid-range, good, and Blackburn jumps back on top. 17-15, 10.5 left in this first half. Here's a three from Provost, no good. Maybe not the best idea. Blackburn trying to capitalize here. Outside, here's a three. That is good from Caleb Schaub, 6'3" senior out of Missouri. Schaub now sits at 3 points, his first three of the game. Blackburn's bench getting into it. Carter wants a three, passes it outside. Logsdon, deep three, no good, rebounded by Blackburn. Great job there by Johnson to kind of hurl it in, take his time. Head coach for Blackburn, Austin Kirby, telling his team what to do here. Nearly losing it is Johnson, almost fell down. Barr, guarded by Carter. Now Schaub, he's gonna pass it to Duff. He's gonna go for a deep two, that one's no good. Carter with that rebound. He'll take it up the floor, over to Blake Logsdon. Blake to Carter, pump fake, good move there. Outside, Provost three, and the whistle's blown. Looks like a foul. Provost did make that three, unfortunately it won't count. I'm sure that always happens. When the ref blows the whistle, the player always seems to make the shot, and of course it's not really good for anything, but Eureka trailing by 5 with a little bit over 9 minutes left to go in this first half. Blake Logsdon will inbound it. Sam DeJesus now checking into the game. Same with Jalen Johnson. Provost, bounce pass, Carter looking for Logsdon. Blake now has the ball to the rim, tries to get it up, no good. Great defensive stop there from Blackburn. Barr hands it over to Grissom. Grissom to Duff. Looks like Blackburn's just trying to slow things down here. Schaub thought about that three. Now he goes for it and no good. Barr wants the rebound, gets it, but Provost ends up with the basketball. Eureka has a chance here to make something work. Backdoor cut there from DeJesus. Bounce pass, Johnson outside. Provost thought about the top of the key three. DeJesus, Carter with the three, no good. Rebounded by Grissom. He's gonna try to hurry up here. And finally he decides to slow down. That's the right move. If you're Blackburn, Schaub, guarded by Blake Logsdon. Duff near that free throw line. Grissom over to Schaub once more. Great ball movement from Blackburn. Something both teams have done really well. There's a foul, offensive foul. And you can see Duff throws his hands in the air, kind of questioning that call, but the basketball will end up in the hands of Ben Carter to inbound it. Eureka trying to make their way back into this game. Still a lot of time left to go in this first half. Blake Logsdon, now Carter. Now Provost, guarded by Schaub. Johnson, bounce pass to Logsdon. As I mentioned, both teams really showing off that great ball movement. There's a spin from Provost, puts it up and knocks it down. Great move there from Provost. Now a 3-point game. That'll be his first 2 of the game. Schaub thought about it. He wants to give it to Grissom. Instead, throws it to Barr. Duff, Grissom, three, no good. Barr with the rebound. Grissom now standing in that corner. Barr, Grissom once again. Eureka needs to really watch out for Grissom. We know he's a great 3-point shooter. He's gonna go up to the rim, fighting through contact, no good. Carter with the rebound. Blake Logsdon, corner. Now Carter stands at the top. Blackburn's bench getting into it. Ben Carter making a move, fighting at the rim, puts it up, and good. And unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to count that. There will be some substitutions, and it does look like they're going to count the bucket and the extra point. So Carter gets set up at the line. But as I mentioned, substitutions being made. So Dylan Logston taking a little break for Eureka. Now we see, unfortunately, Carter unable to make that extra point there. Duff ends up with a rebound. It is a 1-point game. Blackburn 20, Eureka 19. There's a nice turnover there. Provost, Eureka has numbers. He's gonna throw it over to Johnson, and he makes the layup. Eureka back on top, 21-20, with about 6.5 left to go. Johnson, corner Grissom. No shot attempt. Schaub now top of the key, double team. I like this defensive shift from Eureka. Looks like Duff gets his own rebound, and finally he will be fouled. He'll be sent to the line in hopes of putting Blackburn back on top. Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by Cornerstone Family Restaurant of Eureka, locally and family owned for nearly 25 years by Michael and Donna Sweeney. Cornerstone Family Restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. They are open through Saturdays 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can dine in, carry out, or order online. Cornerstone Family Restaurant is located on Center Street on the west edge of Eureka. You can get more information or order online at cornerstone-family-restaurant.com. So Duff only going 1 for 2 at the line there, but Blackburn is able to tie it up. Each team 21 apiece. Johnson over to Jesus. Thought about giving it to Carter instead. Basketball ends up in the hands of Provost. Trying to get past Johnson. Fighting in the paint, spins, puts it up, and no good as the shot clock nearly expired. Tipped out, and Eureka once again gets it back. And a foul call. I believe that'll be against Blackburn. So great job there by Provost to get back into that transition there from offense to defense in a matter of seconds. That's exactly what this team needs. You can't really let your guard down. You know, Blackburn is a team that likes to shoot the ball constantly. They like to go for a lot of second chance points, and that tells you that they do miss. A lot of teams miss like that. Carter over to Bird. Remember, Bird double-double against Blackburn last game. Richardson, Logston, now Carter with a three. Bang! Eureka back on top, 24-21. That was the first three-pointer of the game made by Eureka, now shooting 14.3% behind the arc. Grissom, here's a deep three. Schaub, no good. Maybe not the best idea. Grissom ends up with the offensive board. Trying to take it himself, tipped away by Bird. He's gonna take it up the court. Fast break opportunity. Bird fighting through paint. Here's a pump fake from Provost. Open three, bang! Back-to-back threes for Eureka, 27-21. And that's how the Red Devils break the score open. Blackburn now taking a timeout. As they take a break, we will as well. Stay tuned for more first half coverage on ECTV live from the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth.
Welcome to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub, owned and operated by brothers Bob and Mike Mayo. Wendy Puff is located in the heart of Eureka and offers a warm and cozy atmosphere with a friendly staff. It's a great place to relax and savor a delicious meal. Here at Wendy Puff, we have a diverse menu to cater to every palate. Whether you're looking to enjoy a family dinner, catch up with friends, or study for your next test or complete that homework assignment, Wendy Puff will provide you with a positive experience and great food. Come as you are to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub.
We are back on ECTV for more first half coverage between the Beavers and the Red Devils. Eureka back-to-back threes before that timeout, really breaking the score open. Johnson there, no good. Richardson comes up with the offensive board. So Eureka picking things up where they left off. Offense has been able to break open a little bit, but for Eureka, their defense can be a little stronger as Bird able to knock that nice easy layup down, extending Eureka's lead. Now this is where Eureka needs to execute, capitalize, and make a defensive stop. Duff over to Johnson, now Grissom. Very dangerous player. Barr, large pass over there. Johnson once again, he's gonna give it to Grissom. 3, that is no good. And it looks like off the hands of Johnson, who ends up out of bounds. It'll stay with Eureka. There's that defensive stop that we were looking for, as it looks like the Red Devils starting to get a little bit more settled down here. Just under 4 minutes here in this first half. Carter is going to give it to Bird. Bird to Richardson. Had an opportunity for a wide open layup. Great pass from Bird, but instead knocks it out of bounds. And this will be Blackburn basketball. Beavers up. Beavers still trailing 29-21. Grissom being double teamed by Logsdon and Carter. Finally, a timeout is gonna be called. We will keep things here though. It looks like Coach Kirby for Blackburn telling Grissom to kind of just calm down a little bit. Maybe a little bit too much anxiety from the Beavers right now, but they've been in it all game up until recently. As I mentioned, Eureka able to hit back-to-back threes, and of course a layup to extend the lead from Bird. 3.5 minutes, a lot of time in basketball, and that's how much time is left here in this first half. Bird leading Eureka in points right now with 6, while Grissom, the star player for Blackburn we mentioned earlier before the game, leads Blackburn in points with 6 as well. Eureka coming into this one 48-24 overall versus Blackburn. So once again, a huge overall advantage. Duff, open shot, no good there. Rebounded by Carter. Provost, fast break opportunity. Up to the rim, jumps, puts it up, no good. Richardson, rebound, puts it up, blocked. Fight for the rebound, and it looks like Johnson comes up with it. Blackburn basketball as Duff takes it up the floor. Thought about it there. Johnson is going to give it to Grissom in that corner, back to Johnson. Now Duff. Grissom spins, fires over to Duff. Top of the key. Great defense from Eureka. And it nearly looked like Richardson was able to draw an offensive, Blake Logsdon was able to draw an offensive foul there, but looks like that'll be a foul against Eureka. Duff will have an opportunity here to shoot for 2. Eureka College Red Devils basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies of Peoria, an Epson distributor serving Central Illinois. Did you know that North America consumes around 100 million pounds of toner powder annually? This is the equivalent of more than 2.5 billion plastic bottles, 9.5 billion plastic bags, or 116 billion plastic straws. Epson now has precision core heat-free printing as an alternative to laser printers. You can learn about sustainable printing solutions from City Blue Technologies at citybluetechnologies.com. So Duff there, able to go 2 for 2 from the line. Cuts it down to a 6-point deficit. Brewer back in the game now. Finding some space against Grissom. Bird over to Richardson, loses the basketball. Duff comes up with it. Fast break opportunity for the Beavers. He'll take it himself, and that one falls in. Now a 4-point lead by Eureka. Blackburn starting to make their way back into this game. Brewer once again looking for room. Bounce pass over to Bird. Nearly ran into his defender. Blake Logsdon directing traffic. Now Ben Carter, top of the key. Brewer, open 3. No good. Bird nearly got the rebound. Tipped over to Johnson. He'll give it to Duff, who will take it up the floor past the half-court line. Just under 2 minutes left to go. Eureka still on top, 29-25. Johnson over to Barr. Barr with a lot of open room. Duff bounce pass. In the corner is Grissom, guarded by Bird. Richardson, here's a double team. Barr thought about the three, pump fake in the paint. And there's a nice open layup there for Blackburn, number 35, Josiah Talmadge. So that'll be Talmadge's first 2 points of the night. Eureka now only leading by 2 points. Brewer wants the mid-range. Richardson, outside three, no good, rebounded by Barr. Blackburn now with an opportunity to at least tie it up, possibly take the lead. This is where Eureka struggles a little bit. They always get such a great lead early on in the game, and over time, well, that energy level starts to drag a little bit, but Eureka trying to do everything they can to stay on top. Barr thought about the three. Johnson, bounce pass. Talmadge spins, puts it up, no good. Shot clock expires, and Eureka comes up with it anyways. Blake Logsdon will take it up the floor. About 11-second difference between the game clock and shot clock, and it looks like a timeout will be taken here. We will take a break as well, so stay tuned for more first half coverage here on ECTV, live from the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth.
Did you know toner powder is actually powdered plastic, and Americans consume 100 million pounds of it each year? Epson Workforce Enterprise AM series printers are powered by simple, smart, and clean precision core technology, doing away with waste-making laser printer designs and parts that end up in landfills, so you can experience less wasting, more saving. Your Epson Business First partner is City Blue Technologies in Peoria, Eureka College's official partner for sustainable printing.
Welcome to ECTV for more first half coverage of today's game between the Blackburn Beavers and the Eureka Red Devils. Eureka barely hanging on, 29-27 with 30 seconds left in this first half. Blake Logsdon right back into it. Banzamuna now checking back into the game. Dylan Logsdon, crossover move, jump, no good. That one's going to be rebounded there by Talmadge. So Blackburn can hold on to it for the rest of this first half. Johnson, great crossover move there, and he's going to get called for a travel. Everybody saw that one. Johnson maybe looking a little bit confused, but that was too clear for the ref to miss. So with 9.2 seconds left to go, Eureka has an opportunity to hold on to it for the rest of the half and extend their lead going into the break. Blake Logsdon over to Banzamuna. Backdoor cut from Logsdon. Great move, and he puts up the layup. 31-27. Last shot, and no good. Off the backboard. That is how this first half will end. Eureka 31, Blackburn 27. Amarion Bird leads Eureka with 7 points. Darius Duff for Blackburn leads the team in 7 points. But that'll be all for this first half. Stay tuned for upcoming second half coverage here on ECTV, live from the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth.
Right home at Eureka's own Cornerstone Family Restaurant. All-day breakfast, roasted chicken, daily specials, and homemade soups, along with a friendly staff, are here to serve you with smiles. Come in and enjoy Cornerstone Family Restaurant.
The airwaves just got a refresh, and you need to spin your dial to 103.1 to find out. EC 103.1 is your latest and freshest option at your disposal, with the latest alternative rock hits, new personalities, and live sporting events at Eureka College. With an award-winning pedigree, EC 103.1 will quickly be the only thing you want to hear on your radio. Now on the FM airwaves and streaming globally on iHeartRadio. EC 103.1, your rock alternative.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
You're watching the Eureka College Basketball Halftime Show. My name is Derek Payton. I'm here with Dr. John Malone.
associate professor of radio communications here at the university, and I just have a couple questions here for you today. My first one's going to be, where does this natural passion for radio come from, and when did you know that this is something that you wanted to do?
Well, when I was a kid, growing up, listened to a lot of radio, watched a lot of TV, because my parents were school teachers, and I was kind of what they call a latchkey child, where you let yourself in and take care of yourself till mom and dad get home from work. And from the earliest time I can remember, I just had that bug that I wanted to be that person on the other side of that speaker. I wanted to be that person on the other side of that TV screen. And then gradually, as I got older, I realized I had more of a face for radio, so I decided that radio was going to be the way I was going to go.
And then so I looked into kind of your history and what you've been doing. You've been doing radio for a long time. So my question for you would be, how has the change in the times affected how radio is produced and what's kind of going on behind the scenes there?
Well, I started in radio in 1987, and that was while I was in high school. I did it through the Diversified Work-Study Occupations program, and then everything was live. There was no automation. There was no walk-away programming. You basically played every single thing you did, and if it got on the air, you manually did it. So it was live, local, and we, being from a small town, WBYS, this first station I was at, covered a lot of community events, was very, very involved in covering, local news, information. I even, people joke around today, it was so local, I even read obituaries on the air. I read birth notices. I would read who got speeding tickets. We're talking hyper-local type of programming. And then as I moved into more competitive programming, coming into the Peoria radio market when I was in college, things were a little bit more specialized, and then it was right around that time that I got into the media business in Peoria when digital automation came along, and I was kind of at the forefront of that. So, it's kind of taken multi-steps. By the time I got through the first few years of out of college in 1993, that's when some deregulation passed with the FCC that relaxed ownership limits and such, and kind of made it more of a corporate dynamic that we have today.
Yeah.
Now, that's a kind of a long answer to your short question, but
it's a good one. I kind of have a follow-up would be, being that you've been doing radio for so long and kind of in the business, would you say that it has become maybe easier for you to teach it? Or how does that kind of help you out?
Well, it became easier to teach it as I got more experience teaching.
Okay.
When I first got into teaching, you have to understand it was a total accident. I was at WMBD Radio in Peoria, and in '04 there was some management changes that took place, and I was laid off from that position. So during the summer of '04, I was approached by someone who I had known for years, who was working at Lincoln College in Lincoln, and they asked me if I would just come down and help out over the summer and get their radio station back on the air. They were having some issues there. And so I spent a summer at Lincoln in '04, and then the provost there at the time asked me if I'd like to teach classes. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, I've never taught anything. I'm a broadcaster through and through. So I got thrown into the mix in teaching, and the first couple of years was a challenge. First of all, I only thought I was going to do it one semester, and I stayed another semester, and then stayed another semester, and then became basically permanent. And then Lincoln closed in 2022, and we moved the program to Eureka. So really, teaching has been something I've had to grow into because I wasn't born to do it.
Yeah, and so you said you've been teaching since 2004?
2004, yes.
So about 20 years coming up now.
Yep, this is my, I just in August started my 20th school year.
That's exciting, congratulations
Thanks.
about that. And so I have another question for you in the grounds of teaching. Do you kind of take a bit of excitement seeing people come in with bright eyes, ready to do the radio, and seeing them grow and progress throughout their college careers?
I do, and I make no bones about it. My colleague Bud Broyles is really the person that keeps the day-to-day TV flame going, and I'm a radio guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I live, eat, breathe, and sleep radio. When I'm not here, I'm doing something involving radio all the time. Either I'm repairing radios at home, or I'm, doing part-time work at another radio station, or I build studios on the side. I'm just always engulfed in it. So I'm a very, very lucky man, Derek. If you are, and I think a very wise person told me this a long time ago, if your work and your career is also your hobby, you'll never work a day in your life.
It's true. That's true. And I can see you're always happy, you always got a smile. So I would say one of my questions is, hearing you about how that's your hobby and your passion, what would be some of the most fun, or one of your favorite projects you've worked on in your long radio career?
Well, I love talk radio. That's my passion, is the news talk radio format. I was a program director in news talk radio for 10 years. That was my last job in '04. So I always said that, boy, I just wish I could just go back and just for fun, go back and do talk radio again after all these years. And this last summer, it actually happened. I was approached by my old station, in fact. The gentleman who let me go in '04. We went to lunch and said, they've had some personnel changes. It's just the nature of the beast. The thing about being fired in radio, it's not like typical being fired in another job. I mean, it's nothing personal when it happens. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just like, we're going to go a different direction. It's nothing you did wrong, that sort of thing. So, I got called and I went to lunch, and from June 24th to August 9th, this past summer, I got thrown back in doing the same exact show I did years ago.
That's exciting.
The 3 to 6 afternoon show. And so I got my wish of going back and reliving it one more time. But the cool thing about it this time around is I got my wish, but I also knew there was an end date to it. I was just there for fun, knowing I was going to be coming back to this in the fall. So it was weird. It was even one of those first times ever where I actually had a countdown and actually could say goodbye to the audience, knowing this was my last day. And radio, if it's your last day, they'll just tell you after your show you're done and you're not coming back. You don't get a chance to say, I'm done on the air. Yeah. But so I had that 7-week summer job, and I got it out of my system. In fact, if I go another 20 years, I'll be just fine and maybe do it again.
Yeah. And so, taking your class, I do have one kind of personal question for you. I know you've voiced for some TV shows. What's that like? And how'd you get into that whole thing?
Well, I've always wanted to do voiceover work, and I've done a little bit of it over the years, but I've never really done it on a very serious level. And then one of my former students, Zach Lucan, who was a Lincoln College graduate, he actually is the executive producer of that show, Old Iron Adventures, on RFD TV. And he asked me if I would do the voiceover work and the narration for it, which I agreed to do it, and it's actually a paid position now for RFD TV. And it's a lot of fun. You take a lot of direction. You don't really have a lot of latitude to do it the way you want to do it. You do it the way they're going to tell you how to do it, because they're the director and you're just the talent. So yeah, it's fun, and I'd like to branch out to do a lot more of it. It's a highly competitive business, very competitive business to get into.
And you said you've been enjoying doing that?
I have. It's a good diversion. You can get into a rut. Zach told me over the summer, there was a couple of them, he said, I want you to redo those. And he goes, no offense, but those were terrible. So I'm like, okay, well, tell me what I need to do. He goes, you just sound tired. You sound very, and I was tired.
Yeah.
It was after a long day of working at the radio station. And so, absolutely. It's a lot of fun taking direction and just kind of being on the talent end rather than the management end.
You bring up a point that you don't really think about often, is when your voice is your job and you kind of having a bad day, you can hear it. So what are some ways that you kind of make sure that I might not have it in me today, but I gotta sound good on the radio, or I gotta record these clips for these guys?
Well, unfortunately, Derek, with live radio, you don't have much of a choice. Your show's at 3 o'clock and you got to be ready. And doing that over the summer on WMBD was kind of interesting, because the first 5 days, the first 10 days, I was just still on a big adrenaline high. Like, man, I haven't done this for a long time and I'm really enjoying it. Every minute is just awesome. By week 5 or 6, I was starting to slow down. Yeah. It was getting to where, okay, And I knew that's when it's time to hang it up and go back to school. Because it's like by the last week, August 5th through the 9th, I remember like August 6th, August 7th, just saying, all right, I got to go to the radio station. And well, first of all, doing talk radio, you got to do show prep. You had to prep and do all the stuff ahead of time because it's just you for 3 hours. You don't have music to play. So getting up, logging on the computer, doing all the show prep, literally driving down to the studio tired, like, man, I don't want to do this today. But you get in there, and like my producer, Courtney, and the others that were in the studio would just watch me, just sitting there, just all really tired. And then it's like the microphone goes on, and just
you're back to it.
Back on. It's just like something clicks.
Yeah, and
you do it.
I kind of got a follow-up for you because, I do the radio here, EC 103.1.
Yes.
And so maybe my last question for you would be if you have any advice for young people who do the radio or people who are trying to, get into that and they're just now starting out, what advice would you have for them?
Understand that you're in a communication medium and you have to make meaningful connections to your audience, and radio is a very intimate medium. It's a one-on-one medium. It's not like TV. TV is more of a masses type medium. Radio, when you're in a studio, you treat it like you're talking to one person on the other side of that speaker, and you make that meaningful connection and speak in singulars. You. I'm talking to you right now, not all of you people out there, right? Keep it all very singular and keep it as intimate and personal as you can.
That's a good piece of advice. Thank you. You're watching Eureka College Basketball's halftime show. My name is Dirk Payton, and this is Dr. John Malone.
Calvin got diagnosed June 10th of 2018. He has rhabdomyosarcoma, a soft tissue cancer. But St. Jude has covered everything, and coming here, they're like, we are going to do everything we can. And when they say everything, they mean everything. St. Jude is like the gold at the end of a rainbow for a family like ours. They've really given our family hope, and we are so grateful and thankful for everything.
Welcome to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub, owned and operated by brothers Bob and Mike Mayo. Wendy Puff is located in the heart of Eureka and offers a warm and cozy atmosphere with a friendly staff. It's a great place to relax and savor a delicious meal. Here at Wendy Puff, we have a diverse menu to cater to every palate. Whether you're looking to enjoy a family dinner, catch up with friends, or study for your next test or complete that homework assignment, Wendy Puff will provide you with a positive experience and great food. Come as you are to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub.
Did you know toner powder is actually powdered plastic, and Americans consume 100 million pounds of it each year? Epson Workforce Enterprise AM series printers are powered by simple, smart, and clean precision core technology, doing away with waste-making laser printer designs and parts that end up in landfills. So you can experience less wasting, more saving. Your Epson Business First partner is City Blue Technologies in Peoria, Eureka College's official partner for sustainable printing.
We are back here on ECTV live from the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth. Matthew Swan bringing you play-by-play commentary. Eureka leading by a thread, 31-27. A lot of back and forth between both teams. Blackburn trying to make a second half comeback here. Story of the first half, Darius Duff for Blackburn leading the team in 7 total points. Well, Dylan Logsdon for Eureka leads the Red Devils also in points with 7. Banzamuna trying to get things started here and does with a nice easy mid-range jumper. Eureka extending their lead. That'll be the first 2 points of the second half. That's a great way to start off, especially when you're trying to extend the lead and you're in a close game. Cook looking for somebody to hand it off to, gives it over to Duff. Duff with a lot of pressure. Grissom. Back to Duff. Top of the key now, Cook in the paint, trying to fight against Bird, and does so successfully. So Blackburn responds very quickly with 2 points of their own, 33-29. Keep in mind the last time these two teams faced off, Banzamuna, 3, no good. Rebounded by Bird, puts it up, and that one falls. The last time these two teams faced off, Eureka shot 49%, which overpowered Blackburn's 40%. Currently, Eureka, there's a missed three from Blackburn, but currently Eureka shooting 48. Nearly similar, well, Blackburn is shooting 37. So actually, Blackburn shooting a little bit lower than they did last game. Still a lot of time left to play. Brewer finds a space through defenders, puts it in, 37-29. Eureka trying to make it a 10-point lead. The Beavers trying to find an answer. Grissom sets a screen there. Cook now. Bird trying to defend Cook. Cook in paint, puts it up, no good. Bird with the board with the rebound. Banzamuno, fast break opportunity, puts it up, and it is good. So just like that, Eureka, a 10-point lead starting off the second half. Not even a full 3 minutes into this half. Schaub fighting against Brewer, puts it up, no good. Bird, another rebound. Marion Bird, 8 points, 5 rebounds to his account. There's a foul call there. Whistle blown by the ref. It looks like this one, I believe, going to be Eureka basketball. More substitutions. Excuse me, it is Blackburn basketball. Duff comes up with it. 17 minutes, 13 seconds left to go. Here's a three from Johnson, no good. Great defensive stop there. Logsdon in trouble, and it is going to be Eureka basketball. Dylan Logsdon able to come up with it. Remember, Dylan Logsdon led the team in points with 7 throughout the first half. Not really easy to do when you're going up against guys like Amarion Bird, who puts that one up, no good. This one rebounded by Logsdon. Banzamuno comes up with it. Gonzalez, mid-range jumper, nearly good. Bird tips it in. 41-29 Red Devils. Duff, once again, and the Beavers trying to find an answer. Grissom in the corner, finding space, puts it up, knocks it down. But the offensive foul is called. Would have been an and one. But instead, Eureka will get the basketball back in hopes of extending their lead even more. 9 turnovers now for Blackburn compared to the Red Devils' 6. Once again, we saw in the women's game that the Red Devils really outnumbered the Beavers in almost every single category, if not every category. And that's what it looks like Eureka is trying to do here. Gonzalez puts it up, and it falls through, and one. Great job there from Jacob Gonzalez. Fighting through contact, not only being able to stick with his shot attempt, but drawing the contact, getting to the line, trying to make it a 3-point play. Gonzalez, a junior, stands at 6 feet tall out of Los Angeles, California. Started in 3 games this season, but has appeared in 10 total. Unable to convert that extra point there. Duff comes up with it. 16-10 left to go in the second half. Johnson looking for room. Back over to Johnson. Grissom now. Looking for room. Fighting against Gonzalez. Near the paint, Duff wants a 3, takes it, no good, rebounded by Gonzalez. Great defensive stop by Eureka once again, and this is exactly how to get to this Blackburn team. Keep executing on offense. Bird, 3, no good. Logsdon with the rebound, fighting for it, comes up with it, and that is I believe that's going to be a jump ball. Yeah, as he was fighting for it, nearly lost his footing there. I thought it was going to be a travel for a second, but Blackburn will come up with the basketball. Johnson will inbound it over to Duff. 15:42. Clock resumes. Johnson over to Tomlage. Puts it up, and that one no good. Trying to get the rebound. Brewer fighting with Barr, and, Logsdon fighting with Barr. Another jump ball. That's pretty much been the story of this game. Both teams just fighting for the basketball. Eureka able to find some instances of opportunity in which they are able to score, take the lead. Gonzalez comes up with it. Over to Brewer. Brewer guarded by Johnson. Brewer thought about the three. Bird now trying to find some space. Spins, loses the basketball, and this one's going to be a turnover. Eureka's 10th of the night. One player that does not appear to be here for Eureka is Mario Wilson. Wilson had a great game himself against Blackburn. Last time these two teams faced off, he had 5 assists, 3 steals. Blackburn trying to get something working there, unable to do so. It'll go over to Eureka. A lot of sloppy basketball to start the second half for Blackburn. Still looking for their first points of this, well, nearly their first points of their half. Brewer, Gonzalez. Eureka doing a great job expanding their lead, but also making sure Blackburn isn't getting back into it. Bird off the glass, no good. Bantamuna rebound blocked, and Barr comes up with it. Duff, fast break opportunity. Remember, Blackburn outnumbered Eureka in fast break points last game. Now 43-31 after the layup by Duff. For Duff, that'll be his 6th and 7th points of the game. Barr up for the layup, good. Finding some momentum are the Beavers now, trying to make their way back into it. 10-point deficit, 14 minutes left to go. Bantamuna guarded by Johnson, over to Dillon. Now Brewer. Bantamuna in that corner. There's a screen from Bird. Bantamuna finding some space. Backdoor cut. Logsdon puts it up and knocks it down. Great move there from Dylan Logsdon. And on the inbound, Blackburn loses it. So you can see Tyson Johnson kind of questioning, like, what was that? Not a great pass there. He only had 6 points against Eureka the first time they faced off. Now currently sitting at 3, but it'll be Eureka basketball. Brewer over to Blake. Now Dylan Logsdon with the basketball. Fighting through contact. Flips it. Logsdon once again. Bounce pass. Brewer. Blake Logsdon. Corner. Dylan Logsdon. Finding some room. Flip to Bird, and that one no good, but he does get fouled. I saw that contact from up here, and I heard it. Great job there by Amarion Bird. Draw the contact, get sent to the line, hopefully extend Eureka's lead. Clock stops at 13:25. Looks like maybe Bird wanted to go for a dunk on that last play. He looked like his arms were heading in that direction, and all of a sudden his hand got slapped. So definitely messes up the flow of what he was trying to do there, but able to make that first attempt. Trying to make it 2 for 2 here. This will be his first attempt at the line, and he only goes 1 for 2. Bird now at 11 points. And there's a foul against Ben Carter. More substitutions for Eureka. Looks like Jonah Loff will come into the game. Another whistle blown there from the ref. Not really sure what he said, but Johnson inbounds it to Duff. Now back to Johnson. He'll take it up the floor. Logsdon waiting for him. Now Brewer. Great defense from Eureka. Guarding the Beavers past that half-court line. Johnson bounce pass. Carter takes it away. He's going to run it up the floor past that logo. Flips it to Blake Logsdon. Now Brewer. Loff trying to find some space. Decides otherwise. Brewer fighting against Johnson. Spins around. Stops his feet. Pass to Loft. Here's a three. Bang! Great ball movement there from Eureka. Jonah Loft able to knock down the three. That'll be his first few points of the game. Eureka now 49, Blackburn 33. Barr over to Duff. Duff being heavily guarded. Here's a three from Johnson. No good. Rebounded by Blake Logsdon. He'll take it up the floor. Eureka able to take their time now. Remember, this Eureka team has 14 returners from last season, 16 newcomers. It's always a little bit difficult to try to coach a team. Here's another three from Loft. Bang! Back-to-back threes. Jonah Loft now 6 points, and he's tied for third with Eureka in this game for point total. Just like that. Not a lot of time needed, but he's very precise in his decision making. Here's a three from Johnson. That one does fall down. So now some three-pointers being exchanged between the Red Devils and the Beavers. 52-36, Red Devils on top. 11 and a half minutes left to go in this one. Carter in the paint. Backdoor cut from Logsdon. Logsdon decides otherwise. Loft once again. Over to Logsdon. Now Dylan Logsdon. Back to Carter. But as I was saying, with 16 newcomers, it's a little bit difficult to get everyone to cooperate with each other. Carter, a nice catch, spin and shoot, knocks it down. 54-36. Just over 11 minutes in this first half as Duff takes it up the floor. Johnson. Now Barr trying to find some room. Gets past the defender, puts it up. That one's no good. Rebounded there by Johnson, tipped out. Brewer tried to get it. Instead, it ends up in the hands of Johnson, guarded by Dylan Logsdon. Barr once again. Here's a three. That one falls through. Back-to-back threes from Blackburn, Johnson, and Brody Barr. Barr now tied with Duff for Blackburn's lead in point total, each at 9. Nearly a hard foul there. Looks like Dylan Logsdon might be shaken up a little bit. He went down hard. Unfortunately, unable to make the basket, but he will be sent to the line for 2. Definitely, he's going to need a minute to take a breather there. That looked like a hard fall. It's a good thing to see that he could walk under his own power, but he'll have to shoot for 2 here. Dylan Logsdon, 9 points right now. 1 for 1 at the free throw line. Make that 2 for 2. More substitutions from both sides. We see for Blackburn, Caleb Schaub stepping back in. DeJesus near the scorer's table, waiting to come in for Eureka. Logsdon's second attempt, no good. Rebounded by Barr. That'll make him 2 for 3 at the line, but he does have 10 points in this game. Johnson now over to Schaub. Schaub double-teamed. Duff. Grissom attempting for 3, no good. Rebounded there by Duff. Fighting through contact, no whistle blown yet, and finally there is a foul call. I believe that'll go against Dylan Logsdon. As we take a look at the replay, Logsdon going up, clearly hit hard and then goes down on the floor. You can tell that one, not a pretty sight, but thankfully he is okay. Still able to remain on the floor. First attempt there from Schaub, falls through. 15-point lead from Eureka right now. Just over 10 minutes left to go in this game. And Schaub only goes 1 for 2 at the line. He'll remain at 4 points. Blake Logsdon taking it up the floor, past the half-court line. Guarded by Duff. Now Jonah Loft, trying to find room, unable to do so, has to give it away to Carter. Provost flips to Loft. Loft. There's the set screen from DeJesus. Carter wanted the 3, goes to the rim instead, and good. 59 57-40 Eureka. Schaub over to Duff once again. Grissom continuing to get in that corner. Large pass there. Barr in the paint loses it, and it's going to be a foul call. Or I believe maybe a kicked ball violation. No, definitely a foul call there, but this one's going to stick with Blackburn. It'll be Grissom to inbound it. Over to Barr. Another noteworthy player we haven't seen much of in this game, Pee Wee Brown, also not here. There's a travel against Blackburn. That one is going to be their 11th turnover of the game. Turnovers have been a huge killer for Blackburn against Eureka, I'm assuming all season long. But Pee Wee Brown, last game against Blackburn, played a huge role in that 16-2 run over the Beavers. Missed 3 attempt there from Loft. That'll make him 2 for 3. A steal, though. Blake Logsdon comes up with it. Great heads-up defense there. Blake Logsdon. Provost directing traffic. Loft over to Logsdon. Now DeJesus back to Logsdon. Provost trying to find some space. Guarded by Grissom. Loft over to Logsdon once again. Great ball movement here from Eureka. Here's a 3. Banked in by Blake Logsdon right as the shot clock expired. 20-point lead for Eureka, 60-40. 8:10 left to go. Duff loses the handle on the ball. Here's a 3 from Johnson. That one goes in. Looks like head coach Austin Kirby wanted a timeout after that 3 by Johnson, but unable to get one in there. Carter hands it off. There's a great screen from Carter. Provost now. Carter telling him to pass it in the middle of the paint there. DeJesus gives it over to Blake. Blake, top of the key 3. That one no good. DeJesus tipped it. Shot clock does expire, and this one's going to end up in the hands of Duff. Blackburn, opportunity to cut down the point deficit. Duff puts it up and good. No foul call. Fortunately for Eureka. 60-45, Eureka leading by 15. Backdoor cut, Loft, open 3, bang! Jonah Loft's 3rd three-pointer of the game. That'll put him at 9 points, and he is now tied. He remains tied for 3rd for Eureka's leader in the point total of today's game. And it looks like Blackburn is going to take a timeout. So we will also take a break, but stay tuned for second half coverage here on ECTV live from the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth.
Welcome to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub, owned and operated by brothers Bob and Mike Mayo. Wendy Puff is located in the heart of Eureka and offers a warm and cozy atmosphere with a friendly staff. It's a great place to relax and savor a delicious meal. Here at Wendy Puff, we have a diverse menu to cater to every palate. Whether you're looking to enjoy a family dinner, catch up with friends, or study for your next test or complete that homework assignment, Wendy Puff will provide you with a positive experience and great food. Come as you are to Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub.
Feel right at home at Eureka's own Cornerstone Family Restaurant. All-day breakfast, roasted chicken, daily specials, and homemade soups, along with a friendly staff, are here to serve you with smiles. Come in and enjoy Cornerstone Family Restaurant.
ECTV for more second half coverage of today's game between the Beavers and the Red Devils. Eureka coming out of this timeout. Well, you saw it, Jonah Loft. Not a lot of time into this game, but already with 3 3-pointers. He stands at 9 points, 3 for 4 beyond the arc. Really impressive. Eureka able to break the score open. leading 63-45. Blackburn coming into the second half, not really able to find an answer for any of Eureka's plans here. So great job by Eureka to stay in this game, be energized throughout the entire thing. And now with 6:43 left to go, both teams make their way onto the floor and gameplay resumes. Grissom, guarded by Loft, bounce pass over to Barr, back to Grissom. Coach Wilde not happy with what he's seeing there. It'll be Schaub to inbound it. Wilde calling plays from the sideline. Here's a three from Grissom. That one falls through. So a very quick answer from Blackburn coming out of this timeout. Once again, Coach Wilde continuing to call plays. DeJesus over to Carter. Remember, Darius Duff for Blackburn. 4 assists last time between these two teams. Carter nearly found an open lane. Instead, throws it over to Logsdon. Carter, three, no good. And Provost nearly with the offensive board, unfortunately throws it into the hands of Grissom. Otis will take it up top. Johnson, bounce pass. Here's a three from Schaub. No good. Schaub knew it. Tries to get the rebound, but ends up in the hands of DeJesus. Doesn't matter. Ref blows the whistle. It'll be Eureka basketball. Loft inbounds it. 5:44 left to play here in this game. Eureka playing very smart basketball in the second half. There's a foul call. We're going to see a lot more of those foul calls as we get later into this half, specifically from Blackburn, as I'm sure they're still trying to find a way to come back into this game. So Blake Logsdon will have a shot at the line after that foul call. Clock stops at 5:36. Makes that first one right there. As I was talking about earlier, Eureka really pretty much outscored Blackburn last game in almost every category. Rebounds, assists. They were tied for turnovers. Each team had 12 last game, but even points off of turnovers, second chance points, points in the paint. The only category Eureka trailed in was fast break points. And here tonight, Eureka seems to really have a handle on those fast break points. Obviously, outscoring Blackburn right now in that category. There's a jumper from Barr, short mid-range. That one falls through. Eureka, once again, leading by 15. Blackburn applying pressure defense against Eureka. Bird, great pass there to DeJesus. Way to find him. Provost in trouble, guarded by Schaub. Spinning under the rim, bounce pass. Bird goes to the rim, good. 67-50. Eureka once again extending their lead as Schaub making his way up the court. He's gonna throw it over there, nearly lost it. Schaub thought about the three. Long pass over to Johnson. Here's a three. Schaub, that one no good. Nearly rebounded there by Duff. Instead, ends up in the hands of Blake Logsdon. Bird, fast break opportunity for Eureka. Nearly a corner three opportunity from Provost. Bird at the rim, puts it up, and good. Bird, who was guarded by several defenders from the Beavers, able to get his hands behind his head, just flick it in the air, make sure it falls through. 69-50. Here is the score in the second half. Barr over to Duff, who puts it up. That one's good. And it looks like a timeout will be called. So with just over 4 minutes left to go, Eureka leads at 69-52. We will keep things here though. But yeah, as I was talking about, Eureka really just continues to lead every category. Not only last game against Blackburn, but even in this game. Blackburn has 13 turnovers. Eureka has 8, trying to limit that, maybe cut it down just a little bit. Eureka is taking advantage of those turnovers, though. 25 points off of the 13 turnovers from Blackburn, something that's greatly contributed to the lead that Eureka has gained here in the second half. Of course, we saw Jonah Loff as well. Very great job to knock down 3 3-pointers. That was also a big part in this attempt to gain the lead for Eureka. Loff, he did average 3.4 points last season, 1.2 rebounds per game, and not even a full assist per game. But he did have his season high with 13 points at Fountainbahn. That was last year in February on the road. And speaking of Loff, he will inbound it over to Dylan Logsdon. Logsdon now into the game for Eureka is Harvey. Bird fighting in the paint, puts it up and good. Marion Bird continues to fight in the paint. He is now at 15 points in this game. Grissom, pump fake under the rim. Johnson throws it up, gets fouled, and he'll be sent to the line for 2. Grissom at the line is currently 1 for 2. He has 9 points in this game. And as a team, Blackburn shooting 62% from the line. They've had 8 total attempts. Grissom obviously playing a huge role in that. Makes his first one there. Just over 3.5 left to go in this game. Eureka leading by just under 20 points, and Johnson only going 1 for 2 once again. That makes him 2 for 4 from the line overall in this game. Loff over to Bird. Over to Harvey, who throws it back to Bird. Loff. Great ball movement from Eureka, trying to wind down the clock a little bit. Bounce pass to Dylan Logsdon. He's going to go for a large, deep 2. No good. Rebounded by Bird. There's that offensive board. DeJesus wanted the 3. Loses the ball. Instead has to give it over to Logsdon. Harvey, corner 3. Too strong. Bird, offensive board, knocks it down, puts it in. Amarion Bird continuing to be there for those rebounds. Now at 9, just 1 shy of yet another double-double in this game. And there's a wide pass. That one's going to be a turnover, I believe, unless it was, looks like Bird might have tipped it based off of his reaction. So this is going to stay with Blackburn. Jonah Loff comes out of the game. For Eureka, we see Joel Ewald. Marion Bird also taking some time to rest, which means Andrew Coker also comes in for Eureka. So a lot of new faces that we don't typically see on this Red Devils team appear late in this game. 2:43 left to go. Eureka leading this game by 20 points. Johnson over to Grissom. Grissom fighting against Harvey. Spins, loses the ball in the process. DeJesus comes up with it. Ewald now. Large pass over to Coker. At the net, puts it up short. Gets his own rebound and now loses it to Johnson. Fast break opportunity for the Beavers here. Grissom. Euro step, no good. Duff, offensive board. Grissom. Schaub now does get fouled. He was drawing through a lot of contact there. Looks like he's going to be the one to inbound it. Just over 2 minutes left to play. Red Devils on top, 73-53. That 20-point deficit remains. As mentioned, Eureka at this point is trying to run out some clock, but Blackburn still with the basketball. Duff in the paint, fighting, and he puts that one up, but a foul call. I'm surprised that wasn't an offensive foul there, as it looked like Cohen Woods was being heavily contested there But Duff at the line for 2. We also see Colin Dallaire for Eureka into this game. A lot of unfamiliar faces, but these players that typically don't start games are getting this opportunity here to make themselves known. So Duff makes that second attempt as well. And not nearly a steal from Blackburn. It does look like it's going to stick with Eureka. Once again, especially late in this game, this is when you can't really let your guard down. You still have to play until that clock expires. But because of that bonus there, looks like, I believe that was Harvey that was fouled, and it was, so he'll be sent to the line, trying to extend Eureka's lead. I did mention it that the closer we get to this game ending, the more fouls we will see. Blackburn just trying to stay in this game, but their chances are thinning out here. Schaub, pump fake 3 in the corner. Grissom finding space outside. Schaub finally does go for the 3, knocks it down. So Blackburn not done yet. And there's a foul against Harvey. Once again, he'll be sent to the line. It is a good idea by Blackburn if they're able to keep making 3s or any basket in general and then continuing to foul, getting Eureka to miss here. But either way, with 1:41 left to go, it's going to be a little difficult for the Beavers to come back here. Harvey. That one does fall through. So he'll have a second chance here. His second attempt is successful. Harvey now 2 points in this game. Taking it up the floor, Hanvey. Hanvey over to Johnson. And blocked there, but I guess the ref saw Coker foul. Looked like he got all ball, but being sent to the line is Johnson. So 1:32 now. Johnson with 634 minutes played last season for the Beavers. As I mentioned earlier, he scored 6 in that last game at home against Eureka. Able to knock that one down there. 75-60. Eureka back on top by 15. As that point deficit constantly changing back and forth. Ewald nearly losing the basketball. Over to Harvey. Harvey, mid-range jumper, too strong. Rebounded there. Great job by Blackburn to keep it in bounds. Fast break opportunity, and he puts it in, and the foul. Blackburn starting to make a little second half comeback here. And it's going to be Grissom trying to get that extra point. Grissom 1 for 2 at the line, now 2 for 3. He stands at 12 points in this game. Eureka trying not to get fouled, trying not to lose the basketball. Huge pass over to Dallaire. He's going to give it. There's Harvey. Now Ewald. Harvey once again. Thought about the 3. Instead, Woods decides otherwise. Double team there. Harvey. Coker with a dunk, and he gets that one to go in. That's exactly how you want to respond there. 77-63, Eureka on top. Pass outside. Here's a 3 from Blackburn. Spins in and out. And Eureka, Ewald comes up with it, loses it, and this one going to go out of bounds. It will stick with Eureka. So with 33 seconds left to go in this game, Eureka most likely just going to try to let the clock run out here. Blackburn will try to foul, and they do. Grissom against Harvey. He'll be sent to the line. As I mentioned, Harvey 2 for 3 at the line, 2 points in this game. Obviously, not a lot of time. But like I said, a lot of unfamiliar faces on the floor for Eureka. A lot of these bench players getting some playing time. His first attempt falls through. Harvey now 3 for 4 from that free throw line. Trying to get his point total up to 4. And he does so successfully. 79-63. Blackburn nearly lost it. Outside pass over to Grissom. Grissom at the rim, floats it up, and that one, lucky bounce, falls in. 21.6 seconds left to go. Coker over to Ewald, and Ewald bounce pass. Harvey back to Ewald. Great ball movement there, nearly stolen. Coker. That one is going to be taken away, and Eureka looks like just going to let them have this one as clock nearly about to run out. And Eureka will just hold on to it, and that is how this game will end. So Eureka winning this game by a score of 79-67. That'll make them 3-8 overall, and that will put them to 2-2 in SLIAC play. So now at 500 in conference play. Great job by Eureka to come out tonight and get this win, especially at home. That's always huge. Of course, Amarion Bird gets another double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds, and Darius Duff for Blackburn led the team in points, 15. So that is how today's game will wrap up. But our next broadcast of Eureka College basketball will be on January 8th when Eureka hosts Webster University. You can watch that broadcast right here on ECTV. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. live from the City Blue Technologies broadcast booth. Eureka College basketball is made possible by City Blue Technologies, a leading Epson distributor serving Central Illinois, Wendy Puff Pizzeria and Pub in Eureka, and by Cornerstone Family Restaurant, also in Eureka. The executive producer of Eureka College basketball is Dr. John Malone. On behalf of my crew, this is Matthew Swan. Thank you for watching.